Michael Cohen said that his commission of campaign finance crimes was done at the direction of and in coordination with Donald Trump back in 2016. Now, this is the first time we have someone directly implicating President Trump in crimes. Donald Trump is implicated in commission of 2 crimes directly related to these contributions and additional crimes that flow from these contributions. Michael Cohen and American Media Inc. made illegal contributions. Donald Trump and his campaign accepted those illegal contributions. Those are violations, 2 violations of federal campaign finance law. Additionally, unlike Michael Cohen, who didn't have any campaign finance disclosure or reporting obligations under the law in 2016, Donald Trump and his campaign committee did have disclosure obligations. The Trump campaign and Donald Trump, by failing to disclose the receipt of these big contributions, they violated federal campaign finance reporting requirements. And on top of all of this, setting aside the very tricky legal issue of whether a sitting president can be criminally prosecuted, he could be criminally prosecuted for additional violations of criminal code provisions that prohibit lying to the federal government. The Department of Justice has interpreted some criminal statutes to apply when a candidate files a false or incomplete report with the Federal Election Commission. Donald Trump and his campaign seemingly did that. Well, there's a few big questions, legal questions, policy questions, that will probably need to be sorted out in the coming months or year. One of them is this whole question of whether a sitting president can be criminally prosecuted. There are some memos from the Department of Justice that are decades old indicating a view within the Department of Justice that a sitting president cannot be indicted. There are other legal opinions that even if it is not unconstitutional, it would be bad for the office of the presidency and an offense to separation of powers. We don't know, though. There is no Supreme Court precedent, nor do we even know definitively the extent to which a president could be subject to the mechanisms of an investigation, a criminal investigation, subject to subpoenas of documents, subject to a subpoena to appear in person and testify under oath, a deposition. There's one more unanswered legal question worth mentioning, and that is questions related to his ability or authority to pardon himself. And there is some disagreement among legal scholars with respect to the constitutionality of a self-pardon. But it is immensely troubling to think that a person could win the office of the president through the commission or with the assistance of commission of crimes, and then use that very office as a shield to being held accountable for violating federal campaign finance laws.
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And on top of all of this, we have a pending Supreme Court nomination.
I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court.
Judge Kavanaugh, if confirmed, would be in a position to participate in decisions that directly affect the guy who just praised him and appointed him to the Supreme Court or nominated him to the Supreme Court. There's some serious concerns, questions about whether it is even appropriate to proceed with confirmation hearings for Judge Kavanaugh with what we now know to be implications for or involvement of President Trump in possible crimes that could end up before the Supreme Court. Common Cause's view is that no one is above the law, not even the president.